going? Okay, cool. Because if I can always edit that part out,
Oh
it's
yeah.
easy. Okay. All right. Hey y'all, it's Chelsea Bell, and welcome back to my channel. So I know we're going through a quarantine, and it's like really petty during the times, but I hope everybody is staying safe and just living their best life inside of small spaces. All right, so today I wanted to talk about just regular acting 101 type of information for aspiring actors and actresses, models, anybody who wants to be in the entertainment business. I've gotten a lot of questions about how I got into the business and how I started off since my Savage by Fenty campaign has been trending. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. It's taken a very long time to just get to that level. And I'm just so honored and grateful for everything that's coming my way. And I'm excited for the future, which you should be excited for your future as well if you want to be in the entertainment industry. So I have everything kind of set up behind me. My homegirl Antoinette is here. You might hear her ask me some questions, or you might hear her voice talking to me, and it's all cool. So it's like we're here to be greater, and we're both actresses. So we're trying to, be out there with the big leagues, A-listers, We're inner city celebrities, but hey, I want to be a big celebrity, not just the inner city staple. All right, cool. So my first thing with getting into the business, if you don't have any type of experience at all, I really recommend to do as much community theater work that you can do in your community, no matter where you are in the world. Try to do community theater, as much theater as possible. Theater on your resume looks really good because you definitely know the foundation, and you definitely know a lot of the lingo already, which will be a big relation when you get into TV and film work as well. I also recommend getting into as much extra work as possible because when you start off, you're going to be a working actress. You are not Halle Berry. You are not Denzel Washington when you first start off. You want to be like those actors. You want to be a Nathan Lane. You want to be a Meryl Streep. You want to be a Diane Carroll. You want to be those type of people. But it takes work, and it definitely takes levels to it. So get into extra work. The great sites that you can get onto to find those type of jobs, even community theater as well, I do recommend Backstage.com. Backstage is about us a yearly fee. Sometimes it ranges from $100 to $139 tops for the whole year. And you can find work all throughout the world on Backstage.com. Okay? So find extra work, find community work. If it doesn't make $100, it don't make sense. Okay? Like, make sure you're getting paid for even the small work that you do. But I do recommend that sometimes you're going to have to go with whim and trust your instincts and possibly do stuff for little to nothing because you're building to become somebody, not thinking that you're already there. And part of that mentality will hurt you as an actor because even if you're an extra, sometimes that extra work will get you to that featured extra look, or it might possibly get you to that speaking role that might be just one sentence because you came to work, you came prepared, and you didn't act like an extra extra. Don't be that extra extra because that extra extra is going to get you to never come back to do any type of television shows anymore. Okay, word travels around, but you want to make sure that your status as a platform, as an entrepreneur, is always excellent and golden. Take your acting abilities as a job. This is still a profession. It's fun, but it still should be taken seriously as if you was working a regular 9-to-5 job. It doesn't matter if you work from McDonald's to Walgreens to being a doctor or being a techie or anything. You come to work, you follow instructions, and you just do the best that you can, and you listen, okay? Listen and follow instructions. Just listen and follow instructions. Especially as an extra, even if that director or whoever that is on the team, whether it's the extra casting or the actual production team, just just let them have it. Just let them have it and just be like, it's cool, and just keep going. I promise. When you keep that good mentality, you'll get that work. I promise. Just trust the journey, and it's going to take time. So get on Backstage.com. Actors Access, I heard, is good. I'm not into Actors Access, but I heard it's good. And CastingNetworks.com is great, as well as LA Castings. Casting Networks is a big network worldwide. So I think Casting Networks is probably the most expensive, but it's pretty beneficial. But get on those platforms and make sure you save your money and make sure that you're working as well. Like when I say I'm working actress, behind the scenes of all the glam and stuff, I basically produce glam. I'm an esthetician and I'm also a registered and licensed yoga instructor. So that's what I do to make money. That's my thing. I'm an artist, and sometimes I do graphic design work, which is what my BFA is in, and my background from Mississippi State University. So I use my intellect, I use my talents. I do what I have to do. I work behind the scenes before I got in front of the scenes, and I work behind the scenes trying to be in front of the scenes, just learning and stuff like that. But get into extra work, get into community theater, support your friends, support people that you know who are into the arts, into the fine and the performing arts, and be a part of their films or their small films or their small theater production, because every little bit counts, okay? So if you don't have any experience, that's what you should do. Jump into that extra work and jump into community theater. Jump into community modeling. Like I said, support your friends. Modeling work is great. When you have the balance of modeling, acting, even singing and dancing, hey, you're a threat. Try to get into those classes. Take classes. Don't spend a lot of money, but take classes. Find stuff in your community. Support your community, because those people are really passionate about their artistry. So do those type of things. Get into your community. Also, as a working actor, actress, get into networking events. Let people see your face. Let people know that, hey, I'm Chelsea Bell and you should know about me. Let them know you. Let them see your face. Just let them know who you are. The last time I ran into somebody who was pretty famous, I don't pester them, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's Master P. I'm about to go make sure he see my face. And nobody was around him. It was the perfect time. I had a business card. I didn't care if he took it or not. I was just like, oh my God, are you Master P? He was like, sometimes. So he's like, maybe. I love his southern accent. He's a real Louisiana boy. I love the South. Yeah. I miss the South. Those are good times. I'll probably move back to the South if somebody asks me. But anyways, I let him know that I wanted to be known. And I told him, I said, you're going to remember me one day. And he was like, keep doing you, shawty. I was like, okay. Just keep doing what you're doing. And that's the best advice anybody can give you. When nobody believes me, honestly, don't count on too many of your family members. Don't count on too many of the friends that you think are your friends. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's a journey. People come and people go. I mean, it is what it is. But besides all of that, know what the first step is to do. Just get out there on the scene. And when you do that extra work, network with the people who are the other extras. You never know who they are. They could be photographers, writers, directors, producers, somebody just like you who was wanting to be elevated within the field of entertainment. Like I said, it takes levels to it, and you got to trust the process. So besides just all of that, you have to build a resume, and you have to take pictures. So let's talk about photography real quick. Photography, don't stress on photography too much. Like I said, mess with people that you know who is just like you. If you know a photographer, or you're in school, or they're a photography major, maybe you're a graphic design major or whatever, or just you know somebody who knows photography, the list goes long. Get with those people. Just get the snapshots. Don't think about it being too perfect. And don't think about the setting so much. It doesn't have to be a studio setting with the lights and the perfect background. Just find a beautiful, like on a nice day, whether it's cold or if it's warm, if you're trying to get the work done, find a nice setting outside and take good close up portrait shots, portrait from shoulder to the top of your head, and get some good shots from the waist and up. Get some good headshots. If you want to get into body shot, do some fun shots outside or whatever. Just take some real good snapshots outside. Or if you have the money or the opportunity, go ahead to that photographer and spend that at least about $300 or more for those shots. If you want to go the inexpensive way, hustle till you bustle and use that mouthpiece to get what you need to get done, okay? I'm not going to get into anything deeper than that. You know how to hustle. Use that mouthpiece. Or just go ahead and find the money. You might find a photographer for $100 and up. But be ready to spend about $100 and up for a good headshot, a good quarter of a shot, basically a half shot, waist up, and a good full body shot, especially if you want to get into modeling, if you have a great body, if you want to get into fitness modeling and stuff like that. Just get the 3 shots, headshot, half body, full body, boom, and just start off with that. And then when you get along with it, just you keep taking pictures. If somebody says, hey, I want to shoot you, make sure you get it in writing and get that free picture, okay? Anything that you have the opportunity where there's a professional camera, hey, can I get the picture? Can I ask permission? Can I pay $25 for the print or whatever? Get it, especially if it's professional. But if you're doing something low budget, go outside and find a beautiful setting and make sure you're getting close up, okay? It gives a beautiful background. It's just pretty. Natural lighting is beautiful. I love outdoor shoots. I've had some of the best pictures done outside. Next, we're going to talk about, so we talked about the photography. Get your pictures, that's simple. Just a couple of snapshots to show, because some people get lucky. And sometimes I can't stand those people. They start off and then they're off to the top of the moon like, what? Like, dang. But some people are like that. And if you're one of those people, man, the glory to you, honey. But for other folks, if you know you're special, you gotta work harder. You gotta work harder, okay? Because baby, like this entrepreneurship life is a beast. Like, it is literally a choice. It's a job. It's a hustle. Because the average millionaire has what, 7 streams of income, maybe at least 5. We getting there. I feel like we getting there because you got this alcohol. Girl, I'm hot. We fooling around. It's Wednesday. It's quarantine. We just had some good old shrimps. Yes. He details the shrimp. Girl, this girl got me hot. I swear I felt like I was in Arcadia. Y'all remember Arcadia in Miami? Inside the Fountain Blue. Or One Oak in Las Vegas. J. Cole done came through. But okay, laugh break is over. I just have to tell you guys how I'm really feeling, because I'm really telling you guys the business for real. So, after photography, you get your photography done. Before you build your resume, get a portfolio. All photos should be at least 8 by 10, okay? 8 inches by 10 inches or 8.5 by 11, whatever. Not a big deal. Make sure you have a portfolio. I bought this portfolio from Hobby Lobby. It was under $10. And I think it's about 20 sleeves. So having to have as many pictures as possible. Oh my gosh, if I hear anybody else say more pictures, more pictures, more pictures, anytime you have an opportunity, get the picture. I have about 15 pictures in here. So this is like one of my main shots, especially on my social media. A body shot. This is my alternate look headshot. This is how I look when I grow my hair, which is what I look like now. And I have a fun shot. Silly photos. Make sure you do not send casting directors silly photos. Have it in your portfolio. Show your personality. It's cool, but when you're trying to communicate with casting directors and agents and stuff like that, don't send them the silly photo unless they request to see all of your portfolio work, unless otherwise. But just don't send them, especially when you're trying to create a relationship. And this is my actual resume photo. So this is my resume photo I like to show. I pretty much wow a lot of people with this one. It's a great photo. I enjoyed this photo shoot to the fullest, and I did spend money on this. So this photo shoot was about $300. Yeah, I think I spent about $300. No more than, it was definitely like $350 maybe. But I got a lot of work done, a lot of shots to go with it. But this is my resume photo. And then when it comes to your resume, the resume photo, the photo should, when you hand in your your resume, you hand it with the photo facing up. And then the resume is on the back. Now, if you don't have the opportunity to print them out both sides, so photos on the front, I hand it to the director, to the casting director, whoever. The resume is on the back. If you have to staple it, it's not a big deal. But you really want to keep your resume to one page. And don't get your actor's resume is totally different from your business, corporate, 9-to-5 professional resume. You don't mix the two together, okay? So you want to try to get it on one page. When you are emailing people, your resume is going to pretty much be, if you have it on one document, cool. But basically you're going to give them two documents, your photo and your resume. And it's all good. So don't stress too much about it. But deeper into the resume, it has to look a certain way, a standard actor's resume, okay? And I wrote down in detail behind me on how your resume should look. So this is the front of your resume. It is the header of your resume, what everything should say. So before we get down here, pay attention to right here. So this is the header. So in my case, my resume was centered when I showed you my prototype. But when I redo it, I have my photo on one side, but remember, after I showed you my portfolio, I have an alternate look too. So I want to put all of my information on one side of my resume, and then I want to put an alternate photo on the other side, just a thumbnail tag just to let them see. Okay, I don't want to give them two photos, but if you do, don't stress it out. But I want it to look a certain way because now my platform has gotten bigger, so I have to step up my game a little bit. So now, for your header, if you don't have an alternate look, don't worry about it. But for your header, you have your name, you have your union status. I'm non-union. Then you make sure you put down your actor's website or actor's YouTube. I prefer YouTube. If I were you, I would use YouTube too. Your email address, your phone number, your height, weight, eye color, and hair color underneath, okay? After that, you put your agent's info if you're with an agency. If you're with multiple agencies, you put your agent's info underneath. So when you put your agent's info underneath, you put the name of the agent, the agency name, your agent's email, and your agent's phone number on your resume. Okay? So it's real simple. It's really easy to do it on Word. I created my resume on Word. I might pass my resume over to a friend, a graphic designer, to create it for me. I'm a designer too, but I don't have Adobe Creative Suite 6 right now. So I have to work with a designer, but hey, it's life, it's life. But I love working with my designer because it makes my life a little bit easier at times too. But I prefer to do a lot of stuff by myself. But it's not a big deal. So that's the easy part, and you can do it in Word. Um, Before we get into deeper into the resume, let's talk about role names because the names, whatever you put on your resume, you have to put down the role name that you worked for that show, that job, that production, okay? So the names that you use to put on your resume is lead, supporting, day player. Day player and supporting are the same things. In my case, I use both words to put on my resume, even though they mean the same thing. For example, I did reality television. Anything that you do on TV, you put it on your resume. I did the Judge Mathis show last year, and I was basically a part of the show. I wasn't in the audience watching the court shows. I was featured on the television show. I was talking. Anything that you did that was talking or TV presentable, you put it on there, definitely. So since it was just that one day, I wasn't like a co-star because that's like for TV shows and stuff like that or whatever. But I was a supporting role because I'm communicating with the main person of the show, which is Judge Mathis. So basically, I put on my resume that I was a day player because I literally worked for a day, but I was really trying to get something done. But it was still low-key a job. Okay? So that still means supporting. And supporting is definitely like you're that actor who's definitely seen throughout the whole movie. You are definitely an important person. So that's like what I use supporting for. But if I was just there for a day, yeah, you was, to me, yeah, you're a supporting actor. You was literally just there for one day. It's weird though, but I just feel like that's how it's, I don't know, like I feel like that's how it's broken down. I'm just using my common sense. So if you was a model, that's a role name, singer, dancer, host, guest host, co-host. So if you like hosted on the red carpet or anything that was publicly known, whether it was national, community, city, whatever, guest, co-host. Like I was on the AC Green radio show one time in Chicago, and I was on his show for a month. Every Sunday, it airs every Sunday. And I was basically like a guest co-host. So I put that on my resume because I'm not really a part of the show, but it was an opportunity. Millions of people heard my voice. You put it on the radio. You put it on the resume. Well, I was on the radio, but you put it on the resume, okay? All right. So now that we talked about role names, let's get deeper into the resume, which is the work. All right. So you put your resume, you flush everything, all the tabs, all of the subtitles to the left. When you get into the work, which is TV and film, commercial and multimedia, theater, all of that stuff, you separate it in 3 columns. So you put the name, the role, and the director or the production name. If you don't know the director's name or can't remember, or there wasn't really a director, you can just put the name of the production. Okay? And I have examples. So you want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough space, and you want to keep your resume to one page. So I grouped them like TV and film together because it's big screen acting, okay? If you just did TV, don't put film on the resume. If you only done television so far, don't put film on the resume. But if you only done film, just put film on the resume. Don't put TV on there, okay? If you done both, put TV and film. On my resume, I haven't done any type of film, whether it's independent or mainstream or television film. So I don't have film on my resume, and it's cool. So you put the name of the project, you put the role. Remember, the role is not the character's name. Do not put the name of your character. So if you played the Tin Man in The Wiz, you put lead. You don't put the character's name. You only put down that if you're a lead, supporting, day player, model, You can say fitness model too. You can. Fitness model, co-host, guest host, whatever. That's what you put down for role. Okay? And then you put down the name of the director who did the project, who did the job, or the production. Okay? And when I say production, you could put PBS Kids, ABC7, NBC. Okay, you could put those production names down depending on what it is. Those are just examples. Commercial multimedia. So under commercial multimedia, here's an example. One time I didn't work for them, but I got publicized by RollingStone.com. So anytime when it was a sudden event that happened, I didn't plan on this to happen, it just happened. But any type of sudden events that happen in your life that was on stage, that everybody saw, that was entertainment-wise, put it on your resume. Okay? So I was blogged on RollingStone.com. I was a singer, that was my role. And there was no director that I know of, so I just put AMA Fest, which stands for Americana Music. What was it called? The Americana Music Festival, AMA. I said it wrong, but that's what it was, the Americana Music Festival. Okay, moving on. I get tongue twisted. I'm not perfect. Okay, another example under theater. I did a play called The Wiz. I was a lead, and the director's name was Margaret Hayes. So, and then another one, I did a music video. The title of it was called Girls Kissing Girls. You can put the feature name of the artist next to it if you have room. And I was a lead in that. And the director and the production company was Feed the Wolf and Joey James. So sometimes I like to put both the production name and the director if I know. But it won't take it away. It's not a big deal. It could be either or. It's all good. Okay? And underneath that, so you had 3 columns and all the work that you've done from television to film, commercials, social media consists of multimedia. So like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, multimedia, anything internet, theater. Now, those are 3 columns. When you get to training, you want to tell them like, okay, you done some training? Yeah, let's talk about it. So, as an example, for training, you have 2 columns. You just put down the name of, I guess, the training or the workshop or the name of whatever it is that you did. And you put the name of the person who ran the class. Because why? I don't know. It's all about who you know nowadays, not what you know. A name can get you very far, okay? So, for example, I have a dancing background in me. So, I trained with Alvin Ailey several times, and I trained under Renee Robinson and Hope Boykin. Boom. At the time, Renee Robinson was the big dog of the company. She was the principal, she was the lead, she was running stuff, okay? Amazing dancer. And she's still out there in New York City doing her thing. So if anybody sees this, tell her I said, hey girl. Hey girl, hey Renee. Yes, honey, that's my middle name. Renee means power, okay? All right. But that's a good example of training. Anything else like that? You can put workshops down. My last workshop I did, it was on Zoom. It was the weirdest thing ever, but we are living during an apocalypse right now, and I'm really waiting for the X-Men to show up, okay? I'm really waiting for Storm to come through. Maybe Halle Berry might come out and electrocute some people because people don't know how to act or whatever. You know, Magneto might be out here. I don't know. I'm just waiting for the X-Men to come, okay? So, yes, baby. Baby. Alright, but you can put down actors' workshops down that you've taken. And it was the weirdest thing to do it on Zoom. I've never done a workshop virtually, but this is what we're living in right now. And hey, train your instrument. Get yourself informed. I don't like to take a whole bunch of classes. I feel like sometimes if you're very talented of a person, that can take away what was designed inside of you naturally. Because a lot of times in this business, it's about if you got it, you got it. If you don't, I don't know. Like, it's either you got it or you don't, honestly. But another good example of training, like I said, you can put actors workshops. My last actors workshop was with Michelle Hayes at Hayes Talent Agency, and it was a great class. I think she's a great leader. She's dope. And I took drama and speech classes and all types of stuff. And then last but not least, you put your education underneath training. For me, I put my college degree, my yoga, 200-hour registered yoga training license, and I went to beauty school. So I put everything that I've done in training, because you might get that role that relates to your profession, and that's cool. Like, okay, they might need somebody who knows how to wax, so they might look for people with that type of background. So you never know, because they're always looking for somebody like you. It doesn't matter if you're tall, short, fat, skinny, voluptuous, curvy, whatever. They're looking for people like you, somebody who's very unique. It's very different from modeling, okay? And after that, you put your skills. Put down everything that you know how to do, but effectively. Don't say you can play tennis and you don't even know how to score. Just because you see Serena chasing around a little yellow ball, that don't mean you can too. Unless you really know how to do it, okay? Make sure you... Shut up, man. But it's for real. Just make sure you put every skill down that you actually know how to do, all right? And that's pretty much it. So, you can rewind this video and go back on these notes. When it comes to self-taping, that's probably like the easiest thing that you could do. If you notice, I am taping myself with tape around my lights. Because I don't have the cute little ring light with the phone attached. But it gets the job done, okay? It gets the job done. So I have it going portrait-wise. Depending on the job, usually when you do self-tapes, make sure you have a nice plain background behind you. I have a white background. Doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it looks good and vibrant. Have good lighting. And usually most of your self-tapes are going to be landscape, unless they might request to ask to see your body, and just depending on what it is. And if you didn't notice that we all have a tendency to have our phone at the portrait position, it's just a mechanism, but don't trip if it's not horizontal. Don't trip if it's not a landscape type of portrait, but just good lighting, a good background, a plain background. And I recommend a plain shirt, a plain top, and some jeans. Easy on the makeup, let them see you. Easy on the jewelry. This is my trademark. It's not going nowhere. My earrings. Sometimes I take them off, but just be simple. I like to wear all black. I'm really into that artistic, crazy type of stuff. Yeah, whatever. Wear all black. You'll be safe with that, but just a regular top, no paraphernalia, no words. Stay away from patterns. Too much of that. Just plain. Your pants can have a pattern if it's dope. There's nothing wrong with that, but just and that helps shows your personality, whatever. But just stick with a plain top, okay? And simple makeup, simple jewelry. Make sure you're self-taped. You're speaking loud. A slate is basically stating your name and your height. And make sure you add personality when you state your slate. Hi, I'm Chelsea Bell, and I'm 5'4". Or, hey y'all, I'm Chelsea Bell. I'm 5'4". That's usually your slate. Sometimes, if it's recommended, they'll ask you to say more. So, Antoinette, I think I got everything down. Don't you think?
I think you did.
I think so too. But guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. stay safe out here. I promise I can answer questions that you guys comment in the comment section. Okay, I try to get with everybody. I see y'all seeing me, so I promise I will answer anything freely. And you guys stay safe. Wash your hands when you get into your house. Wear your mask and your gloves, and just be safe out here. Use your common sense, and let's stop the curve so we can get back to Hollywood. Alright? Alright. See ya.